I fully get that some of you are like, what is she doing? What happened to the landscapes? I'm here for the landscapes. That's fine. I don't expect you to like everything that I do, but I am really into these color and shape ideas right now. And this painting doesn't mean anything. It's like, for me, it's about the colors and the color combinations, and it feels like indulgent in a way because it's so simple and like makes an impact. I kind of, well, a couple years ago when I first strayed away from my like normal landscapes, I made this comparison, and it still kind of rings true to me. So if my normal, more detailed, more realistic landscapes are, say those are like a fancy chocolate cake. You've got like 3 layers, chocolate ganache, maybe a dusting of cocoa powder, like it's perfectly presented. These paintings that are about the colors and the shapes is like sneaking into the pantry at night and grabbing a handful of chocolate chips or Nutella. It feels like kind of bad and indulgent, and it's just like immediate and gratifying in a totally different way than something that's like really fancy and fussy is not right the right word, because I hope none of my paintings were fussy, but you know, these are definitely not fussy. With my landscape paintings, I pretty much paint just straight from a photo. That's kind of like the recipe that I use. But with these paintings that are non-representational, it's more of a design that I have to come up with, which is kind of a new thing for me. I'm not a graphic designer. I don't really think of myself as being, like, as having any good design skills. So a lot of this, like I've said, starts with a color combination that I see somewhere in nature or in a restaurant or in a magazine that is just really striking to me, and I want to kind of like celebrate that color combination or figure out how to make a painting that's about that color combination. So in my notebook here, I have some just like handwritten color combination ideas, and then I sketched some stuff out. These are like first passes at designs. And you can see that this here is very similar colors to this. So at first I thought I was going to make some square paintings. And then I thought, well, shoot, do these designs, could it work as a rectangle? Because I really like this 4 foot by 5 foot size. So I wanted to see if I could do something with these really simple like curved lines, but in a rectangle shape. So then I did these sketches. And I had first had this idea of doing, I don't know how, like concentric circles, or you know, portions of concentric circles. And then I thought, well, could I simplify that even more and just have the 2 sections rather than the concentric circles? So this here is this design. I had this dark purple in here. This was based on a color combination that I had seen, actually some poppies at my parents' beach house. And you can see a little bit of the remnants of that dark purple in here, but it was too dark. So I didn't want to paint it out completely because I liked that little detail, and I liked that high contrast between this dark purple and this really light pink and the light green, and it felt like a nice barrier here. But I didn't want this whole thing to be dark purple. That was way too dark. So I shifted away from that color combination to another one that had been inspiring me, which was based on the tile and the plants at a coffee shop here in Portland. So this is almost done. There are a lot of details in the brushwork that you see if you get up close, and with paintings like this, it makes a huge impact from across the room. It's just like that immediate, you know, shapes, colors. But then when you come up close, there are all these teeny tiny little things because there are so many layers of paint on here. And when I'm painting with acrylic, which is really versatile, I sometimes create layers that are more opaque, and then sometimes I use a lot of water, so I'm creating these washes. It's mostly water with just a tiny bit of pigment, and that creates a really interesting effect as you layer those layers on top of each other and build them up. So it's like a visual effect of the colors, and then you're also creating texture, which builds with each successive layer.